admit. I'm not very good at remembering birthdays or anniversaries. But anyway, we used to celebrate, I think she said it was July 16th. June 16th that she came to work for me. And we formed the company back then in 1997, I believe it was. So it's been a long time, and we've had an enormous amount of fun and experience. Good Lord, I had never had a company before, and thank goodness for Richard, my partner, who helped with setting it up and making sure that things started in a good way. And then I continued to run it with Lisa's invaluable help and a lot of other employees. We've had numerous employees over the years. At one point, I think we had about 9 employees, including a full-time tech guy, because, we couldn't do anything ourselves. We're getting better now, thank goodness. So I'm just going to refresh so that I can see your comments, but I wanted to welcome you all. Those of you who are just dropping in, thank you so much for making a little bit of a time in your day. I'm sure that many of you who are Canadians are, let's see if I can refresh without disturbing the stream. Many of you Canadians are looking forward to Canada Day this coming Tuesday. I don't know why, but Tuesday doesn't seem like it's the right thing to do. It feels to me like we should be taking off tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. We should have a 4-day weekend, including Monday. But apparently, no, that's not exactly how it works. It looks like Lisa's here. This is good. I'm not too sure. There looks like there's 6 or... Oh, yeah, there's a few more comments coming on board. Good morning, Donna Granger. Very good to see you. I'm really happy to be here today because I did a number of things this week, and I can hardly wait to tell you about our new developments. Let's see, I started on Harmony Sampler, finally. I haven't got enough to show you yet, but there's some stitching. There's going to be quite a bit of beadwork in this one, which I'm looking forward to. It's not something I've ever really, I've included beads in my embroidery before, but I haven't done any, I'll call it beadwork because it's like thick beads, right? And so I'm looking forward to it and seeing how everyone likes it. To me, beads are an addition and not necessarily the main focus. But this time, I believe that's what's coming up for me. So I hope you enjoy it. Hard to believe it's been 28 years. Absolutely. I can't even believe that it's been that long. And of course I can, because I know my age has changed things. As you get older, you also don't want to do less. It's not that you can't do all of the things you used to do. It just takes longer. I'm sure I'm not telling anybody any secrets there. And it's so good to see you, Donna, and Mary Widrowitz. Good to see you also. Kathy Joan, very nice. I love the notification that you are on. It pops up on my phone. Oh, I'm so glad that you told me that too. Thank you for saying that, but also that you get a pop-up on your phone, which I was not aware of. I've not actually joined a live stream myself. Can you believe it? So I didn't know that you actually get a pop-up. So that's good. Is it only, do you only get a pop-up, I guess, if you're a member of the Facebook group? I guess. I'm just guessing. Anyway, thank you so much, Kathy Joan. Tammy, good afternoon. Just doing a little house cleaning. Okay, well, that's allowed. Although don't let it get, too far. You don't want to disturb all those dust bunnies. They're having a wonderful time creating some more. So don't clean too much. Anyway, I think doing a little house cleaning is the exact right thing to do, Tammy. Well done. Good morning, Anita Verheyen. Good to see you also. And Diane Zamudio, good morning. It will be hot and humid in Texas. I can imagine. I don't like heat indexes. It always makes you feel like it's hotter than it. Well, maybe not. Maybe it just makes you realize how hot you actually are. I feel for you. I hate that. Oh, it also pops up for you too, Diana. Okay, good. Thank you, Diane. Sorry. Anyway, good to know. And it also means that I can tell people, just make sure that you're a member and it will pop up. At least I hope so. Jean Morrison, hello. Nancy Perting, very good to see you. I'm glad it's sunny. I'm sorry it's too hot in Atlanta. Kathy Jones says, it's in the settings when you're watching a video. You can set the settings to give you notifications. In the video itself while you're watching it. So that I didn't know. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to get in touch with you, Kathy Jones, so that I know exactly what to tell people, because I think a lot of people miss out. They don't get notifications. So is it in the settings of the actual group? Or is it in the settings when you're watching the video? There are separate settings. That's my last question. Thank you. Hello, Marcia Buckingham. Good morning. I bet you Dallas is not exactly cool. Hello, Lynn Molitor. Dorothy Wendell. Hello, nice to see you. Good morning. Just got back from a routine eye exam. Stitching is your distraction right now. I don't know how you can stitch when you've had an eye exam. I usually get those drops that make everything look, whoa. Anyway, I had a call back. 10 more days to go back. I don't blame you. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine, and I'm sure you're telling yourself it's fine all the time. Keep telling yourself that, because don't dwell on the other, don't dwell on the negative. But in any case, I'm glad you went for tests. These are the right things to do. So you're just being a good citizen. And by the way, I also had the same thing and a call back and everything. It was fine. It was just that they couldn't read it. That's all. So just reassuring. I used to get pop-ups for the live stream. It doesn't sound like you are now, Tammy. Maybe we've got to figure out how to tell people how to get pop-ups. Pop-ups. That's a hard word to say. Good morning, Ellen. And Carla says, I'm here. Just come out of the garden. So hot. I bet you are. I think that dome is still in effect back east, I imagine anyway. Morning, Marty. Good to see you. Kathy Jones says, the settings are to the left of my screen, and I'm not sure if you're looking on a desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone. The clog icon. Click on that and you'll get the options as to whether you want notifications or not. So whether it's on the video itself or on the group settings, and what device are you using? Because when you say it's on the left, honestly that doesn't really apply to every single device, unfortunately. Hi, Michelle Luzon. I'm just saying that right. Sorry. Hello, Michelle. I'm just going to say that. It's so nice to have people that I can talk to and that hopefully understand that they can't talk back, but you can definitely chat back. I try very hard to keep my eye on the comments so that you are not only acknowledged, but that if you have a question or a comment that I can also feed back to you so that I've seen it and others have seen it and heard it too. It's really nice to have somewhat of an interaction where if we did this all orally, in other words, if we were all talking, it would be talking at once. That would be really difficult. Good morning, says Leslie. And Michelle, I already said, but Leslie, good morning at 2 a.m. lying in bed watching. I just thank you so much for being awake. I should be really quiet when I'm talking to you so that all of your people around you don't hear me talking to you. I bet you've got the sound down low. That's really sweet, Leslie. Thank you so much for letting me know and that you are so dedicated to saying hello. It's really nice. Dorothy says, I didn't need the eye drops today. Oh, good. 6 months dilated just once a year. Okay, good. So your test was, as you said, routine and nothing to worry about. Good. Susan says, good morning. Hot here in the Carolinas. Miss Victoria, very, 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 very much. Oh, thank you. Happy July 4th to you now, I suppose. But still, we all celebrate each other, even if we are not exactly all getting along right now. I have to say that no matter what, I always celebrate both Canada Day and the 4th of July. It's just what we do, and we're not arguing. Stitchers are wanting peace and harmony, and that's why I'm having a harmony sampler. We want peace and harmony, and that's all we want. Thank you very much. Never mind. I'll be quiet. So I'll do some snippets and send them to you so you can see how to do it. Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you, Kathy Jonah. You know it's Thea at victoriasampler.com, right? It's easier for me to see if it's on the video if it's on email rather than on a text. Thank you. Good morning. Let's see. I just found it in the live video settings on my phone while watching this video. I wasn't getting notices, so we'll see next week. Perfect. And it sounds like Kathy Joan is also looking on her phone. I would imagine in order to get the settings, you might have to be on your phone. I'm not very good at only being on my phone. I use my phone much less often than younger people do. I'm not as used to it, and I'm used to a big screen so I can see better. Carla just entered into the local fair, Victoria Sampler Cottages. Oh, you made all of them that I made into a small stand-up frame to see them both sides. Oh, that sounds so nice. You don't mean these cottages here though, right? The ones that I've got displayed. You mean the cottages that were the stitch-along cottages, right? They are on our website now to be bought, right? As what do you call them? As stitch-alongs that, sorry, as patterns that you do as a creative pattern. I think those are the ones you mean. Anyway, that sounds awesome, and I'm hoping that you'll get something, a little ribbon for that. That would be so sweet to hear. Yours was just beautiful. I remember that. Susan says Canada Day was great fun, and I totally enjoyed it. We are going to have a good time. Apparently, we have a jazz fest every summer, and I believe, and I think this is true, the jazz fest is this weekend, which means it's just prior to Canada Day, which means really we are going to have music, and I love jazz, down at the harbor, in the inner harbor of Victoria, downtown. So I have to drive about, I don't know, 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers to get there. But then I park and we just walk around the beautiful inner harbor with all the flowers and the big baskets and the gorgeous sunshine, and just listen to music for free. I mean, there's a lot of venues that are actually not free and you can buy tickets for, but I'm not one to stay too late at night, so probably the really heavy jazz I'll skip. But the fun daily jazz that is free, and you can go to the park, which is Beacon Hill Park. It's huge and it has a band shell, so we'll have jazz there, and we'll have it in the on a raft, I believe, in the inner harbor, and then the musicians go on the raft when it's their turn to play. I'm so looking forward to it. You can go all day long. Apparently they start at 10 and don't finish till like midnight for 3 days running. So looking forward to that. And then it's Canada Day with fireworks and more music. Anyway, you can tell I also am looking forward to it. Thank you for mentioning that, Susan. You're right. We did have a wonderful time here in past Canada Days. And this Canada Day, I think, is going to be quite nationalistic. Marty says, I have set an alarm warning on my phone set for 12:15 every Friday, so I don't forget to log in. And that's because you're back east. We are starting here at 9:30, but that would be 12:30 for you. So you put it on for 12:15. Just for those of you who are watching this later and are wondering, is that a different time? No, it's just that you are living 3 hours later than I am here at 9:30 in the morning. And so far the timing has been what the timing has been. It's not perfect for everyone, but I didn't want to do it on a weekend. I think our weekends are precious, and mine too. And I wanted to, when we first started this, I think it was 2016. Seriously, I went back the other day to try to find some of these first replays. We'd actually done them before, but we hadn't saved any. And I looked on YouTube, and the earliest one was 2016. That and in which case we didn't even edit the video later. Like we had the beginning, and we're going, and Lisa was sitting beside me, and like this and this. Very cute. The other thing is that they've taken off in Facebook. They are no longer saving replays from longer ago than an hour. Oh, sorry, than a month. So all the replays from 4 weeks more are no longer there. They're no longer in our media, which is in our group. It's called media, and in there you can find all the videos. So you're only going to see the last 4 videos there. And that's kind of important to know if you were looking back, but we have kept a huge number of them on our YouTube, including all the ones that I only did for Facebook when I was in Mexico. I've downloaded all those ahead of time, and I'm hoping to put a separate thing on YouTube to show you the ones that I did just on Facebook rather than also on YouTube. So it's kind of fun to look back on the history. And when I saw 2016, I went, whoa. I know, Lisa, can you believe it? So 2016 is like almost 9 years ago. Well, it is 9 years ago. Let's see. Sounds like you have a nice weekend, Thea. Actually, I didn't actually plan anything. I know that I'm going to go down there sometime, but you're right. I'm really looking for, you know how much I love jazz. It's easy to get caught up in stuff and miss chat time. Exactly. Having a little warning bell, boop, is a good idea. It's a really great idea, Marty. Elizabeth, you're here. Are you on your lunch break? I always love it when you join in. Thanks so much for coming back. I did want to say that's Karen. Oh, yes. I wanted to acknowledge some of the people who have been posting, because posting is something that you do kind of in your free time, and we don't all have a lot of free time. I get it. So Karen's roof. Oh, no, I'm going to do that while I'm asking you this question that you can maybe type an answer in for if you're interested. I would like to know, like, I've tried to think of something that I think everyone would like to answer, because I don't necessarily want to leave it all up to me to have the say about things. So I'm going to ask you a question of the week, and this is my question this time. Okay, I've written it down. So what time of day do you most like to stitch, and why? Okay, so I can tell you that as far as I'm concerned, I stitch usually I stitch in the evening, in the late afternoon, and then part of the evening. And the reason is because I have things in the morning that if I'm working, which I've been doing quite a bit of lately, if I'm working, I really need all my cognitive abilities. And if I'm stitching, designing, I need fewer of those abilities. I can do a lot of stitching while my brain is healing from the morning. So, anyway, so that's mine, is late afternoon. In fact, when I say late afternoon, I mean anywhere from 3 to about 5 o'clock is what I do now. But I used to stitch like from whatever time in the morning, 7 in the morning until 5 at night. I didn't mind stitching that long because I had ergonomic help, etc. But now that I'm a little older, I get tired eyes and all the stuff. So I just make sure that I stitch. When I stitch, it's very focused. And I make sure that I stitch at least 2 hours so I can get into the pattern as I'm designing it. Oh, good. Everyone's answering. That's so nice. Yeah, okay. It's true, Tammy. It's been a long time. I know, I can't believe it myself. Susan, she says night. It's because it's quiet. It's a really good reason, too. Joe, Larry says nighttime usually because that's when things, okay, my pets, etc. settle down. Yeah. If you have pets, yes, I can understand that. It can get pretty rambunctious. Kathy says, as an email with the directions. Okay, that goes to Lisa, that info@victoriasampler.com. So that's great. Thank you, Kathy. Joan, Lisa will send it to me, I am sure. Donna says, I stitch in the morning when my eyes work the best. You see, that is a good thing. I agree with you, by the way, Donna. I agree completely. And it does, actually, I could stitch longer then. But I do that sometimes on the weekends when things are, I decide to take some time off. So good time to do it, that's for sure. Dorothy's, oh no, wait a minute. Lynn says I stitch after dinner because that's the only time I have, period. I know if you're working or doing other things during the days, that's it. That's all you can do. Nancy likes early afternoon, and she didn't say why, but I kind of get that the morning is reserved for other stuff. Lisa says I normally stitch now in the late afternoon, same, into the evening until I go to bed. Oh no, I couldn't stitch that long. No, not until I go to bed. No. Good for you. I used to stitch in the morning. I remember half hour in the morning after your bath. I remember it really clearly. You would say, oh, it's so nice. I got to stitch for half an hour. It sets me up for the day. That was a really nice routine that you had. And Leslie says after dinner, sometimes till quite late. Yes, you have to use a good lamp. No doubt about it. Anybody who stitches in the evening, even if it's summer, you definitely need a good lamp, no matter what. I think you can get so much more done if you can see what you're doing. So you're right, Leslie. Ellen, sometimes I stitch in the afternoon, but mostly at night. Well, it sounds like the majority of you are more evening stitchers than day stitchers, which sounds to me like you've definitely got lots to do during the day. Anita says late afternoon and early evening. That's me, Anita. You and I are the same. Well, not the same, but we have the same routine. Marty says I stitch the important stuff in the morning. Okay. At the table, by the window, because I can spread stuff out and the light is better. That makes so much sense. And I also have what I call chair projects. So those are things you don't need so much focus on. That makes so much sense. Oh, and then other chair projects that I can do in the recliner. Oh, okay. I don't stitch in a recliner, but actually my chair is a recliner, but I never recline in it. So maybe that's what you mean. and they don't require extra lighting and magnifiers, etc. Well, that's interesting. So you actually have your table set up with your all the stuff that you need, everything that you need, and then when you've got a longer project that doesn't take a lot of focus, you can do that later on in your easy chair. Tammy says, I like to stitch in the afternoons because I'm awake and accomplish more stitching. But my afternoons are usually used to get stuff done around the house. Yeah, I get it. I usually stitch in the evenings until 1 a.m. Oh, you and Lisa can do that. I don't know how you can do that. Like last night, I couldn't get to sleep. Literally, I often go to sleep quite early or go to bed quite early so that I can ease into my evening. And I was there from 8 until 1:30, no sleep. So I could have been stitching that whole time. Damn it. But my eyes don't function so well in the night. But it's a thought. I might get up and stitch and then see if that maybe makes me, get tired enough. Tammy says, let's see, until 1 a.m. while taking a little shut-eye. Yes, exactly. Liz says, lunchtime at work if I'm not working on other projects, crocheting or making bows. Good heavens, you're a crafty girl. It's so nice to hear that you do other things besides stitching. I also found a craft the other day. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but this is this piece of paper that has it has a flap in the middle that I couldn't quite figure out. And how do they do that? Like, how is that done? And then I saw how they did it. It's really cute. It's like a little magic trick, but I'm not going to go through that because this is about stitching. Okay, so I wanted to definitely mention Karen's roof of the gingerbread stitching house. Beautiful. Tammy, you are starting Spooky Treats and you're having problems with the over one symbols. Get it? I really do. I made an answer there, and I don't know whether you were looking on the back of Spooky Treats, this in the back of the leaflet, to see if maybe Lisa had done a kind of like a magnification of some of the areas that are difficult to see, because those symbols just don't show up as well in the little petty point, little squares within the square, right? So it sounds like you're using the picture to figure out where you are, which is a great idea. And even if you don't figure out where you are exactly, you can figure it out yourself. You can put the colors in that you want. It's just like creative designs. Just do what you think looks best. That's what I think. Anyway, I wish you all the best with that, because Spooky Treats is so fun to stitch, and it'll be really nice when you get it done before Halloween. Annabelle joins in the stitch along. Yep, and Annabelle is just done June, which is so adorable. And she and a couple of other people started in the middle of the year. They just like it so much. They're going to go back, I guess, and do more. That'll be fun. And Joanna Fuzon, beautiful, beautiful work on Hands to Work. Seriously, beautiful stitching, Joanna, sorry. Louise Fossa's flower blossoms all ready for the next week of July is what I wrote down. Yes, you look like you're all ready to go. And next week will be the next blossom for July. We make sure that we do it the first Friday of the month. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that to the table. Anyway, I also forgot last week to do an angel card, but you have to also understand that the angel card itself was taken, and I wrote down on last week's at the end of last week. So if you want to go into last week's replay and then put I think what it is, if you look for the newest comments, and in there you may find my answer to the angel card. So I can't pick you an extra one this week for last week, okay? It's not fair. So I wanted to show you one model today, and it's important that I show it to you because it is so nautical and it is so pretty. I've shown it before. You've all seen it before, but this time I had to undo it, by the way, so that it would show better. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, yes, look at all the people. Carla says, I stitch in the evenings, alternate projects. Gotcha. And while stitching TV and husband there, daytime is too busy. I get it. And by the way, even if you're not working, daytime is busy. There's so many things we have to do. Gracie Hill, hello. Hey, good morning from me to y'all. Oh, what a sweet hello. Thank you for joining us, Gracie. Tammy says, I have my end of the couch as my main stitching area with the ancient light and my table mate, which is a fancy TV tray. I also stitch in the tent at night. I know, I just find that so fascinating. Stitching in a tent doesn't seem that comfortable to me, but it's what you do. With the travel light, sitting in the camp chair and an old footstool. Gosh, that sounds cute. And do you also have a little fire like in your backyard, or is just being outdoors is enough, right? Yeah. Anyway, it really sounds lovely. That scenario that I just heard you described, it's like going back in time to the way people used to do everything. They used to do it outside, and especially in the summertime. Anyway, it really sounds interesting and nice. Marty says, since we missed Angel Card, do we get 2 this week? I preempted you on that one. So go and find out what the Angel Card was last week. It was quite good. Dorothy says, I saw on Facebook that Lorraine is riding camels. Exactly. I just heard from her. And by the way, after her holidays, Dorothy and all of you, Lorraine is our main moderator. She's been our moderator since the beginning, and she does a lot of the other stuff that's associated with moderating. So anyway, we've been friends since she started coming from Australia to our Victoria Stitching holidays way back in the day 2000, 2001. Oh no, we didn't have one 2001, 2002 and on. Every time we had one, she would come all the way from Australia to our retreat. Loved it. And when I asked her to be a moderator, she loved it. She's a lovely woman. I just adore her. She's just really nice to everyone, seriously. And we had a good friendship going, as well as with her husband and my partner. So we had lunches, etc. together. It was really nice. So now she's gone to, I think it's Red Rock. I believe that's where she is, in the center of Australia as a holiday. I'm not sure if it's Darwin, which is farther north, or if it's near the Red Rock. I'm honestly not exactly sure where she went. However, she went camel riding, which I didn't know they did that in Australia, but it's a desert, so hello. Anyway, she is now back home, and she said, unfortunately, she acquired pneumonia on the trip back, and I assume that she will not be present for moderating for just a little bit longer until she gets her strength back. So she has a little ways to go. So I guess it affected her to some degree to do all of those things, including camel riding. Let's see. Elizabeth said, I was supposed to start my Jingle Bell Tree Farm sampler this week, and I didn't. I'm working on the 4th of July piece right now, so hopefully when it's done, which will be in a day or so, good for you, and then you'll try and start it. I look forward to seeing your first progress pic, Liz. That's really nice, and you don't have a lot of time to stitch, so I get it. Kathy Jones says, I'm thinking about getting a new floor stand magnifier. Which brand do you all use? Now that's a really good question, and you can actually all answer it while I just want to show you the model, and then actually I have 2 models, so let me just show you this one, which is this is the mermaid purse. A Mermaid Song is what it's called, and it's because there's a mermaid dead center, which I absolutely love. The mermaid itself is a figment of my imagination, as you can imagine, but all of the sea life underneath, and including the kelp beds down below here, are done in silk ribbon, overdyed silk ribbon, but you can get some silk ribbon apparently now. Some little charms that have to do with the ocean, and some little fish. You can easily create this yourselves, but the only thing that was difficult was this elongated hardanger flap. It was not easy, so I'm not sure that it's a thing that I would recommend. I would not do this hardanger flap again. It's like everything was longer so that it would fit the flap, right? But it didn't turn out as well as I thought it would in my estimation. But you can try it if that's what you want to do. But you can also leave it and just have the flaps around and maybe do some stitching in here rather than doing this unusual looking hardanger. And then on the back, I have the same thing, only I have a little picture or a little stitched picture of Victoria, which is kind of cute. It's a fantasy Victoria, BC, but it still looks a little bit like it with the little street lights in the basket in miniature. And that's actually, this is what goes on at the ocean, because we're right on the ocean. We are a part of an island, so we're right on the ocean, and this is what's happening under the ocean. So you don't see it on this side, but you do see it on this side, and I thought you'd like to see that. There's a scissor case right here, which also has a flap, but this one, yes, it's still got the elongated hanger. Poor Lisa had to work with that. I feel for you. And then we had this really unusual scallop-shaped needle, well, pin cushion, and I call it needles, but this was the retreat. It was done in 2008, downtown Victoria in the Harbour Towers, and I made the idea first, and then Lisa finished it in her usual amazing way. And this is what the pin cushion looks like on the inside. And look at on the outside, it is all stitched so that it would fit together like a scallop, like that. Isn't that amazing? I just love this. And you can do it too. It's not hard to do. It just looks that way. Right, Lisa? It's not hard, right? That's so cute. Liz says, I remember when you were designing that. You're kidding. It was a while ago, that's for sure, 2008. But still, that you remember that. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking about getting a new floor stand magnifier. Which brand do you all use? I use a magnifying glass that goes around my neck. Many people do, and they find it a little easier to manipulate. Kathy, that's Kathy Joan. And then you're talking about Mermaid Song. Thanks, Lisa. I remember when you were designing that. Lisa, your finishing is what I dream of, that maybe someday I will be able to do finishing. I love this one with the stitching and finishing. Honestly, this is really one of the best things that I've seen that Lisa does. And I'll show you this up close. So you can see all the tiny stitches that she had to put in all the way around the outside, as well as all the tiny stitches in through here. And then in order to make sure that the folds happened the way she wanted, she did all the basting lines in here. And on the outside as well, all this stitching was done as well. I just have to show you correctly. So there's a lot of stitching, but there was also some creative ironing, I'm sure, pressing. Leslie says Uluru, formerly known Ayers Rock, is in the center of Australia near Alice Springs. Oh, okay, good. I get it. Okay. So she was near Alice Springs rather than, okay, Ayers Rock is in the center of Australia near Alice Springs. Yeah. So I was right. So she was near the Red Rock, I call it, but you're right. It's Ayers Rock, and now it's called Uluru. Gotcha. Thanks for your information, Leslie. I feel much more educated because I just remember it as looking red and amazing in the distance when I went there. I have an Otlite, Kathy, says Ellen. Mary says, I've really enjoyed the Blossom Stitch Along. Everyone's creating such lovely pieces. You're so right. And Susan says, in Victoria Harbour, all the little sea lions, lots of pictures. Exactly. Oh, you remember. That retreat was really special, the one with the Mermaid Song. And it is still a beautiful piece. I think that if this were done in an elongated somewhat on this side and kind of cut off this way. Okay, I'm just going to try and do this. Cut off this way, but elongated at the top. It would make a regular, good little cross-stitch picture. And it could be framed. I mean, I just think that would be really pretty. Anyway, I did Mermaid Song scissor case. Silly me, used 32 count. Oh no. So I had to put folding scissors in it because it's smaller, right? Still needed to do the main piece. Last kit I ever got. Aw. Kathy, you're going to need to do the main piece, but you can maybe make it into a cross stitch that you can use for other purposes instead of the actual purse itself, right? And if you do the purse, I don't really recommend doing the heart hanger part. Lisa says something, and then I like your finish. Lisa, your finishing is what I dream of. True, I need to get back to stitching. It does relieve anxiety, and we all have some these days. I've empathized with everyone. The world doesn't feel as peaceful as it has in the past, and that's exactly the way of the world. Things change and it becomes a little more anxious. So I wish you well, and I also wish everyone well. Those of you who are stitching in order to be able to breathe and be able to remember what life is really all about, which means that you focus on something that's beautiful. Well done to those of you who do that. I have one more little surprise to show you. I'm going to show you really quickly at the end because some of you may have already left and they would have missed out, which is that Lisa finished the 2 new biscornus, and I'm going to show you very quickly how cute they are. There we go. Aren't they adorable? So we are now making sure that these get ready to be packaged up for people who want to do those biscornu. They're going to be in one kit actually, so that you can do both at the same time. So you have enough linen and all the stuff that you need in order to do those. I just love them. They're so beautiful, and I couldn't resist, Lisa. I hope you don't mind that I showed it to our favorite people. And all of you are definitely that. Let's see. I got to do an angel card and not forget. Okay. This is what we need. We need some peace. Pause in peace and ask for guidance. I think pausing in peace is already a good one. It's the one that we all seem to need. Oh, good, beautiful. Oh my God, too cute. Thank you, thank you. Loud squeals. I like the auditory part of things too. Oh, that's so cute. Lisa, those are beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you to all of you. That is so fun. I'm so glad you like them. And I actually have to say that Lisa's finishing is actually what made them. When I do the stitching and I do the designing, I have in mind what it's going to look like. But when I see the finished piece, it's always a big surprise to me. It makes me think, oh, I'm so glad that, I was able to work with Lisa. So thank you both. Thank you all for mentioning that. Gorgeous. Great card today. Absolutely. I wish you all well. It's a little past our usual time, but I had so many things to say. And we had such fun talking together. Thank you so much for sharing where you like to stitch and when. And the next week will be another question of the week. I think that's kind of fun to do, and I hope that you enjoy it too, because communication and cooperation together is what it's all about. That's providing harmony, right? Okay, wish you all the best for this weekend, and know that we're probably going to take a 4-day weekend. Those of us who are having Canada Day, those of you who are waiting for your July 4th weekend, that'll be the next weekend. So I think all of us, all of our stitchers that are in North America will probably have long weekends. And those of you who are in Australia, England, and anywhere else in the world, take some time off for us, with us. Why not? Do some stitching with us anytime. Okay, and I wish you well in all of your countries. Take care, and thanks again for everything. Your explosion of enthusiasm for the biscornus were much appreciated, because, that's really, feedback is one of